Put your hands together for Eliza Taylor.
Hi. Wow, thanks for coming, guys. Hi.
Good morning. Welcome back to day two.
Day two. It's been crazy. It's so much fun.
Have you got to do many of these sorts of fans events now that you're in the sci-fi world? Have you done big things like this overseas?
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting bigger and bigger, though, which is amazing. I mean, it's a testament to how popular the show's gotten. So, yeah, it never really gets easier for me, though. I get really nervous.
Well, they will be very kind to you this morning, and they have lots of questions, so we're starting just over here.
Hi.
Hi, Eliza. Thank you so much for last night. I just wanted to say it was
Oh,
great
yeah,
fun. I wore the Sailor Moon sweatshirt.
Nice.
I was just wondering, who is your favourite Sailor Scout, and who do you think Clark would like best out of the Sailor Scouts?
I mean, it's kind of boring, but it's Sailor Moon, obviously. And Clark, I don't know. She's probably a Sailor Moon girl, just because she's the bomb.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
When you first found out Clark was bisexual, what was your reaction?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it makes me very happy. I'm extremely honoured to be playing a bisexual character, especially like the first lead bisexual character in a network TV show. That was pretty goddamn amazing.
Hey, I was just wondering if you made up any background information about Clark that might not have been scripted to help you form her character when you first met her.
Say that again, I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm really sorry. So I was wondering if you made up any background information on Clark that might not necessarily have been scripted to help you form her character when you first started, or you've made up along the way.
I mean, there was a bit in sort of the pilot episode, the original script, that didn't quite make it, which I found interesting. Like a lot about how they rationed on the Ark, and there was one thing that I really thought was cool that they took out was when I was in the cell, in the first scene, I have this tiny little water droplet thing, and that's like you have to have one drop every hour, and that's your water for the day, which I thought was really cool. And so there were a bunch of stuff like that, and I don't know, when it came to preparing for Clark, I watched a lot of Katniss, and because when I read it, I just saw this kind of really cool badass, and I was like, okay, lots of strong female characters to kind of prepare. So yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning. Wondering if you could tell us a bit about your new project Thumper, and maybe how the experience of making that differed to making a TV series.
Yeah, Thumper was so much fun. I got to play a cop, which was really cool, but also a cop undercover in a high school. So I was playing a character, which is really hard. Yes, but it was an amazing experience. I think the indie sort of doing an indie film, and I really want to do a lot more indie films. It's just a lot. It's a lot less sort of structured. You get to really play around. It's more of a team thing between the directors and producers and actors, because you're only in this thing for 3.5 weeks, and you just kind of have to throw yourselves into the ring and see, and make the best thing possible. So there's not as much time to prepare, but it makes for a really strong bond between all the crew and cast, and that I really enjoyed. It's just, not as many cooks in the kitchen.
Hi, if you could give yourself any advice when you started acting, what would you say?
For someone starting acting? Yeah. I mean, it's tricky for me because I started when I was 11, so I've been doing it longer than I haven't, which is bizarre. God, it's been nearly 16 years. yeah. So, but I mean, you know, when I taught drama, the most important thing for me that I would tell people is just to keep learning, keep going to classes, keep adding strings to your bow, because, you know, yes, 16 years on, like I'm still a student, you know, and I'm always learning. So just keep on doing that.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
What was the funniest moment you had on set while filming season 3?
For last season?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The funniest moment. I'm so bad with these questions. I don't know. Me and Alicia. Oh, you know what? It was when we were in bed together. We could not stop laughing. Like, because we're such good mates, we just found the whole thing hilarious. I've got some really good selfies from that day. Did you say post them? No.
Hey Eliza, I hope you're not as nervous as you were yesterday.
I'm feeling a bit better, yeah.
That's good to hear. My question is, last week, or like about a week ago, you posted a picture about Melbourne coffee. Because Melbourne is well renowned about their coffee. How excited are you about having coffee again?
It's so good to be back. And Melbourne breakfast, there's nothing like it. LA breakfast I was about to say something really rude. No, Melbourne breakfast is a bomb, and the coffee, oh my God. Yeah, my dad owned a lot of cafes and won like barista awards and stuff when I was a kid, so I was a snob from the very beginning.
Hi, Eliza.
Hey.
This might be a really random question, but I loved you as Rosie in the Sleepover Club. So, anyone from the show who would be good at a sleepover?
Who would be good at
a sleepover?
At a sleepover?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've had lots of sleepovers with the cast. That sounded bad. Didn't mean it like that. I think Marie makes like the best. She makes the best sleepover buddy. We have so much fun. We have living room dance parties and just drink wine and laugh a lot.
Right up back on your right.
On the right. Hi.
Hi. What do you think would have happened if also everybody survived the crash of the Ark? How much do you reckon it would have changed the series?
Well, there would have been a lot more people to kind of help build the society that we needed to build. But I don't know. I mean, the Ark was so huge. I mean, maybe we would have won a couple more wars, but like Mount Weather would have been just like, So yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, do you get to keep anything from set? And if not, what would you want to keep, like, out of all seasons?
Definitely not the goddamn AI. I'm so sick of holding that thing. It's just like, all the time. It's like my whole half a season. What would I like to keep? There were a few things. Now I can't think of them. Hey, do you have any suggestions? What would be a cool thing to have? My season 1 jacket? Yeah, that was actually bomb. I don't know why they won't give that to me, although I did just have to wear it again in the season finale, so yeah, I might see about getting that for next season.
Hi. I was just wondering, going from Pirate Islands and the Sleepover Club to the 100 and Thumper, has it been exhilarating or a rush, or has it been like really overwhelming? Yeah.
It's been, so Pirate Islands obviously was 15 years ago, and Sleepover Club was a couple of years after that, and then Neighbours, and then a complete lull where I was an out-of-work actor for years, where I was just bartending and teaching. It kind of felt like a slow build-up, it's like auditioning relentlessly and then finally getting the 100. But that part has been quite exhilarating, definitely. I mean, the popularity of the show has just blown me away completely. I'm still not used to it. I'm like, people know who I am? What? It's bizarre.
Eliza. So, if you were stranded on a deserted island with only one cast member, which cast member would you want to be with and why?
With a cast member or a character, like a member? Stranded on a desert island. That's a really hard one. Yeah, I was going to say that, but it sounds like such a cliche. But yeah, she is one of my best friends, so I'd say Alicia.
Hi, Eliza. What do you think Clark's strengths and weaknesses are?
Strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah.
I think her strength is her, she's got a lot of strengths, but her resourcefulness and her relentlessness. But I think her weakness kind of lies in that as well. It's almost to a fault, her putting other people before herself and making rash decisions.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
I'm just wondering if you've drawn on any of Rosie's character aspects to build Clark.
Rosie Cartwright? No. No, not really. Rosie was very sweet and sort of, the new kid on the block. Clark, not so much.
Hi, Eliza. With the 100, what's the worst injury you've acquired on set?
I've gotten a few. I've sprained an ankle running. My worst one was a concussion. It was pretty bad. It was my first day back on set for season 2, of course, and I was doing this scene where 2 security guards are wrestling me to the ground with my hands behind my back. And we went over it with the stunt coordinator like so many times. He's like, you land on your shoulder and just pretend to hit your head. But I didn't pretend to hit my head. As soon as they called action, I bounced off the concrete. It was horrific, and the whole crew went, ooh. And I was like, I'm fine, let's keep going, it really hurts. Yeah, so I went to hospital and just, mild but painful.
Hey, Eliza.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, Lexa.
Hey. So we finally got to meet Luna at the end of season 3. I was just wondering what you think Luna's storyline might be going on, and how was it working with Nadia?
Nadia's amazing. She's such a phenomenal person. She's really intelligent and very, that sort of airiness that she brings to Luna is very much a part of who she is. She's got that really chilled vibe about her, which I love. I think she should definitely come back. I haven't spoken to Jason about any of that stuff, but I reckon we've got to bring her back. It'd be really cool. And why not? She's around. She's not dead, which is weird.
Hi.
Hi.
If you could get a role on any popular TV show from the past 10 years, what would it be?
Any TV show from the past 10 years. I would have loved to have been in Parks and Recreation. Because it was my favourite show for so long. And I would love to do comedy. It hasn't happened yet, apart from on Vine. But that would be something that I'd adore doing. It'd be so fun.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. If you were in Clark's place, do you think you'd actually still be alive?
No. Oh my God. No. Have you seen me on social media? There's no fucking way. Sorry. Sorry, children.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
Howdy. Did you and Alicia have any idea that the fandom that would come from your 2 characters' relationship, did you know the fandom would be so huge?
I expected it as much, but it's obviously gotten so much more popular in the last year that I didn't really expect how crazy it would all kind of become. It's been insane, but it's amazing. And yeah, it was just really great to be able to do that, portray that. Yeah.
Hi. Kia ora. If you could be on My Kitchen Rules, who?
What?
If you could be on My Kitchen Rules, who would your partner be and what would you cook?
On My Kitchen Rules? I would cook my slow roasted lamb shoulder with a blackberry and red wine reduction and a potato gratin because that's my favourite meal to cook. I love cooking. Yeah, as you can tell. And my partner, what do you mean, like from the show or just anyone? I can't hear you. Who I'd cook with, yeah. Probably my little bro over there. Yeah, he's a great cook. He'd be a good partner. He came along with me today. Oh, hi, Izzy.
Hello. Hi. I love you.
Thanks.
I was just wondering if you've been writing any more music and if you're going to post any covers soon.
Why can't I hear? I'm so sorry. I feel so bad asking people to repeat themselves.
I was wondering if you've been writing any more music and if you're going to post any covers soon.
Oh, I would love to. I got a bit gun shy, I suppose, when people started actually watching my stuff on YouTube, and I was like, ah. And then now I watch it back, 6 months later, and I'm like, oh, that could have been so much, but why did you do that? That's. So I will, once I've built up a little bit more confidence with it, and I'm writing new songs as we speak. So yeah, but not to be confused with someone bringing out a record. That's not happening. It's just my little hobby.
Morning, Eliza. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. First off, just like to thank you on behalf of everyone for coming down here and doing so many events. We hope you're not too exhausted.
Thank you.
We are super stoked, if you can't tell, to have you here. So my question is, what's it like coming to a con, specifically in Australia, and being surrounded by so many Aussie accents in comparison to American accents? And what is your favourite word or phrase of Aussie slang that you like to use a lot?
Wow, it's really weird. It's weird to be home and surrounded by accents for sure, and comforting. But I didn't realise how watered down mine had become until I got back here and I spoke to my mum for 2 minutes, and then suddenly I was talking like this again. So it's kind of nice to not be curving my R's and like I do when I'm in the States. And the other question was, Aussie slang. I've just been saying g'day a lot. It's g'day? It's really nice because I say that in the States, people are like, ugh. They don't like it. So that's been really fun, meeting people and just being like, g'day. Yeah.
Hi. I was just wondering that now that you're done with Thumper, are you going to just focus on season 4 of The 100, or are you going to start auditioning for other films?
I start season 4 in a month, so no time really to audition for anything else. But we usually start auditioning for films around October, November, for when we finish in February. So that they start rolling in, especially, it's always when we're gearing up for the season finale, so it's just madness and trying to do self-tapes and save the world. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So, sex with Clark appears to be cursed. Will you be killing Bellamy next season?
It's a good question. I know, it's really depressing. Yeah, I don't know. I think she should keep it in her pants, though. She's a bit, she went a bit crazy last year.
Sup, sis?
Oh, that's my brother.
Yeah. Apart from family, what's the one thing that you get homesick or you miss when you're overseas?
Apart from you, darling, what do I miss? I mean, apart from, the breakfast and the coffee that we discussed, Vegemite, and Tim Tams, and Milo, and teddy bear biscuits. Let me think. What was that? Oh, I heard about this. They've changed shapes? Why? What? What about... Barbecue shapes were like my childhood. What? That is heartbreaking. Oh, you can get like a home brand type one that's better now. Thank you for that. This is good stuff to know. Why didn't you tell me this, Patrick? God. All right, cool.
Down the front.
Hi.
If you had to swap positions in the cast with one of the males, who would you swap with and why?
I reckon it'd be Jasper or Monty. Because they're bomb. I don't know. They're funny. They get to like do funny, goofy stuff. Well, maybe not so much Devon this year. he was sad. Very sad. But yeah, probably like, Jasper or Monty. They're the best. I love those guys.
Hi. Between you and Alicia, have you taught the other cast members any Australian slang?
Ooh, Devon's always trying to do an Australian accent, which is so annoying. I haven't taught... No, I don't think I've taught them anything. What would be a good thing to go back and teach them?
Or like how Australian...
She'll be right. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I do say that a lot. All right, cool. I'll do that.
Hi, Eliza. I'm just wondering how difficult it is to mask your Aussie accent and slip into the US one. And
Yeah, it's tricky sometimes, especially since we have so many Australians on our show. It can be a little bit tricky, but I taught. I was a dialect coach for a little bit in my non-acting days, which really, really helped me. It was just before I got the 100. I think that was why.
In the middle, hi.
Hi.
What was your initial reaction when you found out Alicia's character was going to die? Like, did you genuinely get upset for her and the loss of her?
The loss of her, obviously, my God. But she's like, she had to go. She was doing, she's the lead of one of the leads of Fear the Walking Dead, which is just so awesome for her. So we knew something was coming. But reading the script was heartbreaking, and you should have seen the director cry when we were shooting it. He's like watching the death scene, like sobbing at the monitor, which, I think means that we did a good job. But that was a really emotional day. It was crazy.
Whoa.
Hi.
This is an important question. Do you put the Milo in first or the milk and then the Milo?
Yes. God, it's been years since I did it, but I used to have it every day. I think I put the milk in first. No, I couldn't have done that because you need to. It floats too much. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, I just really had to think about that.
On your right, up here.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so I did something. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so what are your expectations for Clark for season 4, even knowing you haven't been told anything yet?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. I would like to think that she's going to forgive herself properly, once and for all, and hopefully lighten up a little bit. Not that that's going to happen, because now the world's ending again. But it'd be nice to see her just properly reconnect with her people, especially since I spent most of last season not hanging out with them. So it's like the last couple of episodes of season 3 were just, it was awesome to be back with the gang, you know. So it'd be nice to do that again. Yeah, or do more of that. Stay away from what?
Hey.
The switches. Oh my God, I know. It's enough with the switches.
Hey.
Hi.
If you had to get a tattoo in 30 seconds, like you had to decide what tattoo to get in 30 seconds, what would it be?
Uh-oh. I've done that before, and I've got a few that I'm not happy about. I don't know. Oh, come on, Eliza. I do think about this often. I'm like, what's my next one going to be? I don't know. It's already 30 seconds, isn't it? It's over. Damn it. What would you get? Oh, that's so sweet. Well, you should get that, definitely. I'm a huge tattoo freak, though. I love them. So, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you at the signing or something. We'll talk about it.
When you're over in America, do you still use Aussie slang terms like bottle-o, servo and Maccas?
Yeah, definitely Maccas. Too often. I've stopped saying bottle-o, and I've stopped saying servo. I still sometimes say service station, but no one knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a few that I'm actually kind of sad that I've lost. I've started saying trunk instead of boot and stuff like that. You know, it's just weird little things that I'm like, oh, sounds so American. But that's what you get for living over there.
Hi again.
Hello.
Thanks again for coming to this. It means a lot to all of us, I'm sure. So, yeah.
Thank you. No worries.
My question is, what do you and the cast do to kill the time on set? Because there's probably a lot of spare time.
There is a little bit. Well, Christopher Larkin always brings in his guitar, so we do a lot of jamming. Devon writes hilarious songs that Chris records and plays along to, which I think, have they released any of those? Do you know, on social media? They have. Yeah, they're hilarious. They've got so many now. I think they want to like bring out an album. It should just be so bad and good at the same time. So yeah, we do a lot of that, and just spending too much time at craft services eating food. Hi.
Hi. So because you like Australian food so much more than American food, if there was one American food that you could take from the States to Australia, what would it be and why, and how could you improve it to make it even better?
Sorry. It's my thinking noise. I mean, I love In-N-Out Burger. It's like so good. Has anyone had that here? Yeah, it's just delicious. They do this like animal fries, which is just fries covered in like cheese and like this kind of pinkish mayonnaise stuff that's like heaven. I'm really hungry, I just realized. I spent more time talking about food on this panel than I have the actual show. That's terrible. But it's important, you know. So yeah, I would bring that over, just the whole franchise, and dump it in Melbourne somewhere. I don't know if I could improve it. I would double fry their fries though, because they get soggy. There you go.
Hi.
Hello.
So I was just wondering, when talking to other cast members, have they not been able to understand you because of your accent? Like
Sometimes, but that's for very kind of American people. Mine's not too thick. I don't think. But some people, like if I go to an audition or a meeting or something, they're like, "What? Sorry." So yeah.
When you're on set or filming and they ask you what food or drink you want afterwards, what do you choose?
So when I'm on set and filming and they ask me what I want, okay. Just, water. No. I mean, for breakfast, I always get this breakfast sandwich, which is just so good. I don't know what they do to it, but it's just like eggs and bacon and cheese and deliciousness. So I ask for that quite regularly. And just coffee. Shitty coffee.
Hi again.
Hi.
I heard somewhere, or I don't know if I'm completely making this up, that there was apparently 2 different endings to the season final. But, so can you say what it was?
No, I got in so much trouble for even mentioning that. From Jason, he was like, thanks a lot. I'm getting so many questions. Yeah, I can't. I actually am not at liberty to say, which sucks. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Hi.
I was just wondering, if you had to go on a road trip, what would be on your playlist?
The Shins, the Black Keys, probably it depends. See, that's my chill playlist, and then there's Beyonce and and 90s hip hop, just Biggie and stuff. So there would be 2 different ones. Be a side B with Iron and Wine and really nice chill stuff, and then crazy hip hop.
Hi, Eliza. Moving between cities, between filming and on break, what do you think the hardest thing is to get used to?
Flying. I can't stand it. I'm so bad at it. It's I never get better at it. Mostly because I have this irrational fear that we're going to fall out of the sky. It's just so stupid. I've actually had pilots explain to me how it works. And I'm like, yeah, logically I get it, but I can't stop having panic attacks. So, just wine helps with that, which is always good. But yeah, it's still, I still have that mid-flight moment of it's all going to end,
Up the back to your right.
Hi.
Hello. What's your favorite animal?
Aww. My favorite animal, well, that's a good question. I love the whale shark. It's the most incredible thing. I want to dive with. I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was a kid, so bad, and everything in my room was blue and ocean themed. Do you remember that? Yeah. Hey? I was obsessed, yeah. No, I actually was obsessed. I did all this crazy research. I had so many books, but then I couldn't science or math, so. But yeah, I'm going to go diving in Koh Tao next year, which is my favorite place in Thailand, and I'm going to swim with a whale shark, hopefully, if we can find one. It'd be amazing.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
I'm just wondering what you think initially brought Lexa and Clark towards each other in season 2.
I think it was just they realised that they wanted the same thing, and they were both in a very similar situation, where they were being a lot was being asked of them, and they were losing a lot of people that they cared for, and there was a kind of kindred spirit there. I think that's what it was. Yeah. I'm they're both babes, so.
Back right again.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to know if you, as Eliza Taylor, would rather be born a grounder or sky crew?
Oh, that's a good question. What I want to be. Well, I think I'd want to be a grounder, probably. Although their traditions are pretty brutal, but then again, so were ours. It's a kind of it's a bit lose-losey, really. There's a lot of people being put to death in both situations. I probably would have, maybe the Ark, if I wasn't in prison. Oh, hi.
Hi. If you could give one piece of advice to someone our age, what would you say?
To someone your age?
Yeah.
What is your age?
15.
15?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, stay in school, don't do drugs, all that stuff. I don't know, just I would say appreciate your age right now. It is such a nice time to be alive. It's like 15 to 19, I had an absolute ball. And I still feel 19, and I just wake up some mornings and go, no, you're really not. You're not. You're nearly 27. So it goes like that. Just cherish it.
Far right in the middle.
Hi.
Hello.
I love you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm actually from Venezuela, so that's in South America. And I asked a few of my friends what they wanted me to ask you, and they come up with the most serious question ever. If you were a unicorn, which color would you be?
Oh my goodness. If I were a unicorn, I didn't know they came in different colors. Okay. I don't know, maybe like a baby blue. You know, it's like a sky blue. It'd be beautiful. I'd feel very peaceful, and I blend in when I'm like flying around up there, hiding from I don't know what enemy to the. Do unicorns even fly? Oh, that's a different thing. Right, I don't know much about unicorns, clearly.
Hi, Eliza.
Hello.
I was just wondering, throughout your seasons from 1 to 3, what was the hardest scene that you had to do?
I got asked that yesterday. I know that there are a couple of people, so I apologise if you were here yesterday. But it was one of the hardest and most kind of jarring scenes for me was in season 1, I think it was episode 11, where I had to slit a man's throat and suffocate him and just stare at him until he died. And it was just like, it was really confronting and horrible, and he was very good at dying, and it just felt all too kind of real. Yeah, that was definitely a time that I went home and was just like took a really long shower. I was like rocking backwards and forwards, like it's not real, it's not real.
Up the back right.
Hi.
Hi.
When you were traveling in America, what was your favorite structure?
Favorite structure? Goodness me. I'm not sure. What I did love, I loved being in New Orleans because of all their structures. Their architecture is just, it's really different to the rest of America, and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if anyone here has been, but it's just, yeah, it's insane. You feel like you're in some sort of old Western or something. It's great.
Hi. I was wondering, one of the things I found in the last season was it felt like there was about 20 episodes worth of content sort of crunched down. I was wondering what storylines you would have liked to have seen more fully developed or given a little bit more time to mature.
Yeah, I do find that interesting how we tend to burn through story quite quickly, which I think we're probably going to be changing this season, which would be cool, I think. I mean, obviously, it would have been nice to stretch out the Lexa relationship, especially, you know, that one episode that should have been like 3, you know. So that would I would have liked for them to have more time together, you know. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of it for me personally. I mean, I wasn't around for the other stuff, the alley chipping business and all that. So maybe that could have been stretched out. I'm not sure.
Hi, I was wondering what has been your favourite episode from season 1 to 3 to film so far and why?
My favourite episode?
Yes.
Gosh, that's really tricky. One episode that I loved shooting was episode 8 of season 1. I can't believe I still remember all this. It's so weird. It's like, it's in the bank. Where I was, it's with that day trip where we get all tripped out on the nuts. It was just really fun, and we hadn't done anything like it, and you know, it was. I just really enjoyed it. It was the first time me and Bob really worked together properly, and you know, we felt like we, I don't know, we're kind of connecting properly for the first time, which was great, and also like just Devon was hilarious.
Back right.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, thanks.
Do you and Lexa ever debate the virtues of Melbourne over Sydney?
Do we what?
Debate the virtues of Melbourne over Sydney.
Oh no. That's something that you shouldn't talk. That's like politics, you know. You shouldn't go there. But obviously Melbourne's better.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
First of all, you're a babe and I love you.
Oh, thanks.
Second of all, who's your favourite person to work with on the 100?
Oh no. I really enjoy working with. I mean, it's hard because like I love working with Paige because she's become one of my closest friends. I think we're actually going to live together this year, which is going to be nice. Mum and daughter living together. So I love working with her because we really just don't have to think too much anymore when we know how to bounce off each other. But then again, like I love working with Marie. I love working with Bob. It's hard. Yeah, I don't know.
Back right again.
Hi.
Hi. When you were a teen, if you were on the Ark during your teenage years, do you think you'd end up in prison? If so, for what?
You know what? I don't think I would have. I was a bit of a goody two-shoes until I was over the age of 18. Then I kind of then it went south for a bit. No, when I was at school, I was always like, I know, like I was that kid. Everyone hates that kid. So I could have gone to jail for being annoying, but that's about it.
We got another one.
Hi, bro.
What's your most embarrassing moment from our childhood?
From our childhood. I don't know. The most embarrassing. Do you know?
I don't think so.
Do you have something in mind? Is that why you're asking me this? Don't say it if it's about me, please. I can't think of anything.
I know one for Riley.
For Riley? Yeah. Is she going to like it if you do that to her right now?
No, I don't
know. No. We're not. There are cameras. Let's not.
Front left.
Hello.
Hi. My question is, why did you decide to switch to iPhone?
I actually just my Samsung. I lost the charger, so I just put my SIM card into my old iPhone, which is smashed, and I need to get fixed. But it is kind of nice to be back on it, I must admit. God, I really gave the Samsung a go. I did, but it is better. The iPhone's better. Matt McInnes is so happy about that, I can tell you.
Hi, up the front.
Hello.
Again. I have a question about Clark's hair in season 3. I remember seeing somewhere on the internet there was like a hashtag or something like that. It was Clark needs shampoo. So how was it getting into that hair?
I have no idea. Like that's a question for the hairstylist. I don't know. The thing is, like, Marie's is exactly the same, but hers is so dark you can't tell, and it sort of just became like this style of like people living on the ground. But because mine's blonde, and it was so long, it just didn't really work. Yeah, there's no shampoo on the ground.
In the middle.
Hi, Eliza. Clark is a big grudge holder, Wells, her mom, Alexa, but at the same time, she understands and begrudgingly accepts the mantle of leadership and sacrifice and holding it in because of, honestly, if the Arkers would be screwed if she wasn't the leader. When will Clark be ever left alone, or when will Clark be able to say screw you or peace out like Octavia did at the end of season 3?
Well, I kind of pieced out at the end of season 2. Yeah, but I don't know. I think she had her little walkabout. She's had her time alone. And I think now, like, the issue is that, they really can't, she doesn't have time because of all the nuclear plants that are slowly about to kill us. So, yeah, I think her having some solitude is pretty far away.
Hello. I need to know, what is your favourite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, okay. I like that one. Can't remember the name of it. Lindsay's boyfriend directed the music video. What was it? No. It's that, What's that, that it starts with, like, nice to meet you. What is it? Thank you. That one. Blank space. That's it. No, I'm not singing. No.
Over here.
Hi.
Hello. What are your thoughts on the development of Clark and Murphy's friendship?
I would love that. I would love Clark and Murphy to, like, become buds. And they're kind of, I think they're really getting there, especially with, like, him saving her life and everything by sticking his hand inside someone and pumping their heart. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, so I would say that they're on the up and up, which would be cool because I love working with Richard, and he is such a sweetheart. It's like, and it's just such a talented actor. Like, I find him, he's captivating. I forget. That's all right. I forget to act sometimes when I'm working with him. I'm just like, wow. I'm like, oh, it's my line. Yeah.
On your right. So a little birdie by the name of Toby Levins mentioned that one of your wigs caught fire or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was bad. Yeah, when we were shooting the scene where Emerson throws the pink canister, the smoke, the gas, whatever it is, into the down the hallway, and then we pass out. I lay down. Obviously, I couldn't see anything, and those canisters are actually, they have a flame in them, and it rolled towards my head, and I didn't realize. And then I supposed to kick him and then run away, and I did, and they called cut, and I was like, well, and Toby was like, your hair is on fire. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. It's like the whole back of my head, it burnt right through my wig but we got it out just before it hit my actual hair. It was, but you should have seen it. I think I've got a photo, I'll have to post it, of me holding up the wig, and it's just this huge black hole. It was terrible.
Okay. Hi, Eliza.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Sorry. It's these lights.
Yeah. In the show, where do the grounders get all their candles? And do you have to have the fire department on standby?
I don't know where they get them all. There are so many. I do know that the budget for candles on our show is ridiculous. You can't even So I can't even remember. I can't remember the number, but I was like, what? We spend how much a week on candles? Like, it's insane. So, what's that? Are they scented? Oh God, that would kill us. No.
Okay, we have time for one last question.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
I just have a question. What is your favorite thing about Clark's character development throughout the whole 3 seasons?
How do I feel about it?
What was your favorite?
What was my favorite? Oh, sorry. I think my favorite. I mean, I guess just the biggest one is, was falling in love with Lexa. Like, that is huge. Like, it is, and it's such a crazy, amazing character development. I mean, she'll never be the same again, and she's changed for the better, even though it was a tragic end.
Lovely. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks,
can you say a big thank you
guys.
to Eliza?